Welcome to Property Management 101, a short series where I take you on site to my personal rental properties to give you invaluable tips when it comes to property investments, including renovations, finding tenants, curb appeal, and so much more. I'm Ryan G. Wright, and I am the CEO of The Investor's Edge, where we help you make money with real estate investments. We are heading to one of my rental properties. I've had this property for, I want to say about 10 years, might be 12, but I've had it for quite a while. What happened is the tenant that was in there has been there for almost that entire time, and they just destroyed the property. But we just decided, you know what, as long as they'll keep paying rent, we're not going to fix anything up or do anything about it. Well, guess what? We raised rents because rents went up substantially. We were raising their rents just a little bit. And we decided we're going to fix up the property because we're going to get a lot more money out of it. I think the original rents on this property were around $800 a month, maybe $1,000 a month. And now we're going to get somewhere between $2,000 and $2,200 a month. A couple of things I want to point out with this. Renting to smokers, we didn't actually know they were smokers. Everybody says, I'll smoke outside or I won't smoke inside. And that's really great until it snows 5 feet of snow in Salt Lake City and they decide, no, I'm not going to go outside today. And that happened in this property, even though we didn't realize it. We are adamant about no smokers because the amount of damage that a smoker can do in a property is so much more than the rent that you'll ever collect, even if they feel like they're responsible smokers. And sorry to those that are smokers, I'm not trying to get after you, but I'm telling you, it can absolutely destroy a property. And so when we went into this property with them being there for almost 10 years, it smelled horrible. It was so bad we actually had to get a professional duct cleaner to come in, and he was bringing black soot out of all the ducts that the furnace connects to, that pushes the air conditioning, the heat, that type of stuff. It was disgusting. We also had to make sure that we ozonated the place, which is actually a machine that you bring in, and it changes the ions in the air. It kind of smells like after a lightning. If you smell kind of that lightning, it's got kind of just a smell in the air if there's been some lightning strikes. That's kind of what, whoa, okay. It's hailing, it's crazy. So we increased the rent, they said they couldn't afford it, and they ended up moving out. We worked with them and found them a new place and took care of them like real people. But then what happened is we started getting inside the property, and that's when we started discovering a lot of problems. So we had a couple of choices. We could do just a very basic remodel, or we could do a little bit more of a high-end remodel and trying to attract an even better tenant than we normally would. I'm not talking like the Ritz-Carlton, right? But I'm talking about just a little bit nicer than your basic. So we did that. Now what's been happening is we've been putting it for rent, and we've been getting calls of people. They've gone and seen the property. And yesterday we got some feedback from one of the people who went and saw the property, and they said it smelled like smoke. They said that there were some safety concerns, and they also said that they wouldn't live there because of these things. So this is news to us because we had the Ozonator go through and do it. We also had all the carpets and everything tore out. We had also had the duct cleaning machine that went through and cleaned all of the HVACs, the air conditioners, everything you could possibly imagine. The entire place got repainted. Now, the contractor was supposed to do what's called KILZ. When you pull up the carpet, there's a wood subfloor underneath that. If there is heavy smoke use, that will accept and take in some of the smell. So what you do is you actually pull back all of the carpet, and then you roll paint the KILZ on the floor so you don't get any of the fumes or anything coming up. It basically, the reason why it's called KILZ is because it is supposed to kill all the odors and kill it and entrap it so it goes away. I've had to use KILZ also on the walls as a base coat if it's really bad, and this is usually just because of smoking. So what we're doing is we're gonna go over there and check this out and see is this lady that saw it last, is it something we need to worry about? Is it something we need to do? So when we ask people for feedback, we don't say, did it smell like smoke? We say, did you notice any odors or aromas in the property? Because we don't want to lead them to tell us that, yes, it smelled like smoke, or put an idea in their head. We really want feedback that hasn't been kind of spoon-fed to them. So the other one said, it kind of smelled like a candle, which is good because we actually put those little plug-ins. We like to do those plug-ins so that there's kind of a nice aroma. We'll put several of them in the house because a lot of people will remember the smell. So they'll be like, oh, it's the beach house, or it's the house that smells like roses, or whatever flavor we decide to do. So we do the same flavor for the entire house and make sure we turn that on so it has a nice, just kind of a nice background flavor on that. 1378. Is that what it says?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the place. All right. Well, I haven't been to this place in a while. The first time you walk in is where you can smell, if you can smell it, this is the time. I can't smell any smoke. Can you? A hint? A hint. Let me go outside and come back in, because then you just get used to it. Yeah, there's just... So these floors should have had KILZ put underneath it before they put these flooring down. This is LVP, luxury vinyl plank. It's supposed to look like wood, and it's a lot better. Yeah, there is just a hint. Let's get a few more lights turned on in here.